to the big show.
Hey, this is Jewel Tanker from the Jewel Tankard Show on Impact Network every Saturday. Or you can check out me and my family, the Tankers, on Prime Amazon or Chatter Talk Show on Fox Soul with my girls, Dr. Dee Dee Freeman, Monique, Eyelet Mosley, Real Talk Kim, and Holly Carter. And you're watching Rude Rangers TV.
Guys, I have always promised that I'm going to come out swinging when I do these interviews. I've told you about legends, and that's what I'm here about, is honoring the legends. And who I have for you guys today, you won't believe it. This group started in 1954. They were originally known as the Domingos, but I am proud. When I tell you proud, I am so proud to introduce to you Mr. Ronnie Moss of the Spinners. Mr. Moss, come on down.
Hey y'all, hey y'all.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing wonderful. I'm at home and I'm doing wonderful. We finally got like 10 days off, so I'm good right now.
Oh, I'm so honored to be a part of your 10 days off. Man, when I told you, or when I introduced you as a group that has been around since 1954, and you are still in the game.
Definitely.
When also today, you know, and all the times that I'm listening to your song, but I'm so honored to have you because your songs put a smile on my face. They remind me of the times when we had grandma, mom, and the aunts and the uncles and the little kids playing outside, and we were doing a barbecue, family reunion. That's what your group represents to me. I've previously told you about the song Sadie, and my Aunt Dorothy, God rest her soul, she would have me a little glass of warm beer, and she would have her cans of beer, and I was all of 3, 4, maybe 5, and we would sit there and dance to your music. That to me, and this is what I'm saying, your music brings warm memories to people. It makes us smile. How do you react? Or how do you not even react? How do you understand the staying power and the impact you've had on the audience?
Yeah. It's surreal. It's like we're doing a show and you look out in the audience, and when we come out, it's excitement. It's excitement. I mean, you can hear them as soon as the ensemble, the Spinners ensemble, come on stage. They're cheering, and then when we walk out, the Spinners, it's almost like it's so surreal because, you know, all the originals has passed away except for one.
Right.
That's Henry Fambro.
Yes, sir.
I was always skeptical. Well, you know, how the audience would take us if when we come out and we're holding it down, and it's the same reaction.
Right.
And when you see people in the audience, you could see some people tears coming down their face. because it brings back so many good memories.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. I was sitting here today and there's not a day that's gone by that I don't listen to Sadie. And because it reminds, because both of my parents are gone. My two eldest sisters are gone. I'm the baby. And so it's just me and my sister Cynthia. And to be reminded of that time when all the family was together. And me, the little kid, in the kitchen learning how to cook. With my grandparents snapping beans, that kind of stuff. And for our culture, like I said, we have, the family reunions, the barbecues, and everybody playing dominoes, slapping them dominoes down on the table. There's nothing like that anymore. We don't live like that anymore. So hearing your songs takes me back to that. And it makes me cry. It makes me cry because you think about all your family members who are gone and all those good times. And, we're not going to get it back. And the kids nowadays, they don't understand. They don't know anything about that. But your music reminds us of that time. And we can share those stories about, like I said, snapping beans, collard greens, doing all of that. So to know, that you bring that kind of love, that tenderness back to people, that must make you proud.
It makes us very proud when you talk to people, because we always hang out after the show if we're not selling T-shirts or something. Always talk with the fans, and there's fans from, I want to say 80 something all the way down to 12 years old.
Wow.
And that seems, and I'm not even exaggerating. It just brings memories back to those folks, and how they pass that music down to their kids.
That's right.
Kids pass their kids.
That's right.
So they are familiar with all these songs.
That's right.
When you do something like, you hear something like Rubber Band Man.
Yes.
And the kids
yes.
They're into it,
Right. And you know what else? Talk about Rubber Band Man. You have a plethora of music that is featured on television and movies. Kids are now, they're going like, oh, the Spinners. When they hear Rubber Band Man, in the movies.
I get them with that every time.
Okay. And they start looking up, or they'll ask a family member, and we're always wanting to tell our stories about what it was like in the music that we grew up on. So that is, this is what I'm saying. I'm like so excited to be interviewing you because we have so much information and so much history. You guys have been singing for 50 years.
Yeah.
And you are still singing, releasing new music.
Right. It's amazing. It's really a blessing, and I don't take it for granted. But it is definitely an honor to have, for our names to be next to the legendary 5 that started the group, and also John Edwards. Still, he lives probably 10, 12 miles from me now. He's in a wheelchair. He is doing full, and we have lunch from time to time. And he, John is the one who sang "Working My Way Back to You." And Cupid. That's John.
Cupid. No. Oh, come on now. You just taking me back.
Yeah. And so, you know, when he gave me my blessings to just do his thing. He wished that he could still be on stage, you know.
Oh.
You know, but yeah, it's we always give homage to those guys.
And you know what? From the early songs in the 50s, your music is about family and love.
Yep.
Heartbreak. How to move on from a heartbreak. Will you be mine, baby?
Yeah.
You know, people speak through music.
Yeah.
I remember my parents. If my dad did something wrong, which was a lot of times, he would come and play a song, get the little 45 or the album and put it on, and then you see my mama like, all right, okay. And then, but that's what music does. Music puts you in a good mood.
Right.
So let's talk a little bit about your background. Where are you from?
Well, as a kid, I grew up in Buffalo, New York.
That cold man.
Right. Then I went to Michigan, and that's where I went to middle school and high school in Michigan. So that's where I'm claiming.
Okay.
This is another thing. I was born.
Mm-hmm.
I was born in Georgia.
Really?
But I was raised in Buffalo, New York as a kid. Yeah.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
That cold. I know you were ready to get away. Wait a minute, you went from Buffalo to Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
The coldest to the freezing.
Exactly. Yeah. And I live back in Georgia now, so when I do go to Michigan to visit in the winter, it's like my blood is too thin now.
Can't hang, man. You know, there's just some things you got to give up. And that is cold. I understand why people move to the South and then Florida when they all lived in those lands where they had to deal with shoveling that snow, getting up 24 hours. What?
We just did. I was telling you, we just did the Chicago parade. And we just did that. It was in single digits that night.
Oh my Lord.
It was so cold. And we had to ride the floats.
Oh,
this
Lord.
was a parade. So the parade started, I think I want to say 5 or 6. And we were on those floats probably 2.5, maybe 3 hours. We were on the floats waving.
Oh, Lord.
When I say cold, we had on long johns because we found out what it was going to be. There was no snow, but it was in the single digits. I mean, it was just, we wore big coats. And then when we got off the floats, we had to perform on the street.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
So my blood was thin.
It took you back to the Buffalo days.
Yeah. Yep.
Man, okay. So you're born in Georgia, Buffalo, Michigan. Where did you get how did you develop a love of music?
When I was a kid, believe it or not. I mean, I was deep in music as a kid. When I say a kid, I mean 4th grade. I took a serious love for music. And when I left there and we went to Michigan, I started right away into music.
Really?
And I never stopped.
And when you say about music, what did you start with?
I actually started in a little young singing group back then.
Really?
Believe it or not, we were young cats with a singing group back then.
Oh my
And
God.
we did talent shows, and it never ever stopped.
Really?
Never ever stopped. Nope. Never ever stopped. And then I became a drummer, a hand percussionist at that same time. So I did both. I did both, and I never stopped.
Really?
Never stopped.
Who were some of your early influencers, brother?
Believe it or not, definitely the Jacksons, the Jackson 5, because that's when I came up with those guys. We were all the same age,
Uh-huh.
and then from that point, I started listening, and then different artists, different R&B artists, singing groups, you know, Spinners, Stylistics, a lot of the singing groups.
Yeah.
Then I took an interest in jazz. So I started really, really studying a lot of jazz, George Duke to Al Jarreau.
Yeah.
Guys, I started studying those guys and that's where I stayed. I stayed right in between both R&B and jazz.
That's a wonderful combination. I tell you that much. That is a wonderful combination. So I know that you joined the group in 2012, 2013.
Right.
Going into the group, with you admiring them, knowing who they are, what was it like joining the Spinners?
It was very exciting, but it was very nerve-wracking because being in the Spinners, I had to learn a lot. I had to learn just like the routines in the group. We do a lot of dancing. Anybody
right. And you know what? It's funny you say that because, you know, the groups, you know, from the Temptations, Four Tops, the OJs, Isley Brothers, all of these groups, you know, they had the routines together, you know, so you become more than just, you are a performer. You're not just a singer, you are a performer. So learning those steps were essential to being a part of the group. You had rhythm before you joined the group. So, but learning the steps, being in sync with everyone, that had to have been.
It was very, 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 very rough because, for one, I went in the group thinking that I was going to knock it out the park right away. And that didn't happen. The singing part was no problem.
Right.
Just because we don't just dance and routine, we entertain.
Right.
You got to entertain and still be on your note. And we, like I said, we do a lot of dancing. Anybody see it? We get a lot of, you guys, I thought we were going to come see some guys just stand around and just sing a little bit and, you know, and it's totally the opposite. So we do a lot of entertaining, and there's a lot. It's almost like, you know, when you're on Broadway, you know, you got to do a lot of entertaining. You have to do what you do, act, dance, sing. You have to do all that on stage, you know. And it's the same, you know, it may not be quite the same, but it's in the same realm, you know.
That's right. It is quite the same, yes. Because, and then stay on note, stay in tune while doing it.
Exactly. It's a lot. But we make it look easy.
Yes, you do.
So
yes, you do. Now, what's interesting, I just thought about this. You come in, you know, as you said, the Spinners is one of your influences. growing up. With, I know your nerves were at an all-time high because you got the songs, the history of the Spinners, and then you're coming in knowing this history, and you are now a part of this group. You are now, you've worked with Tom Bell, Preston Glass, the Spinners, as a group, they performed with Elton John. David Bowie was a fan of the Spinners.
Right.
Elvis Costello, a fan of the Spinners.
Yep.
Songs with Dionne Warwick.
Right.
Hit songs with Dionne Warwick. And
Right.
you're coming in knowing all of this. This is why it's like I want to hear from you how, you come in there knowing all of this. You can sing. You are a performer, but you got that history that's now on your shoulders.
Right. And you have to, it's almost like when I got in the group, I had to really meditate and think about it, because I came in to replace an original.
Right.
Not replace somebody else that replaced. I came in for original. So the rough part was, who was this dude?
Yeah.
Come in, I think he gonna replace Bobby.
Yeah.
Come in with that. I didn't come in with that that thought.
Right.
I came in to hold the torch. That's what I came in with.
Right.
Replace Bobby. None of us can replace the originals, but we're still the Spinners, and we're holding the torch.
That's right.
And so I never say I replaced Bobby. I just say I came in for him, and I'm just holding the torch, and I'm making a name for myself.
That's right.
And that's basically how I put it. Some people, and you always gonna have that few that just won't accept you. You're gonna always have that. Even no matter what particular profession you have or you come into, there was always somebody before you.
Right.
And that person can't live forever, so somebody gotta replace that person. And it's the same thing in here. They molded everything, so we're just holding it and making a name for ourselves.
Right. Now, when you're coming in the first time that you had to perform a song by the Spinners, with the Spinners on stage, knowing all of this, like you said, you have to carry the torch to make sure that the audience, the fans, everyone knows that you are there. You did replace someone, but you are dedicated to carrying, as you said, the torch. So you have to, people are coming there, and like you said, it's difficult because people are like, hey, who are you? What makes you think you're going to be in there to do it? And the first time, go back to the first show and you saw everyone dancing. You knew you were nervous. You knew the weight that was on your shoulders, but to see the fans dancing and grooving, and they didn't care, you had won them over. What was that feeling?
The funny part was, I remember it just like it was yesterday. The first show I ever did was in Washington.
Mm-hmm.
And we did a show in Washington with the Temptation.
Oh, wow.
And
what year was this? What year was it?
Yeah. 2013.
Okay.
and we did a show. And my first show, I came in, and so, they had to alter all of the uniforms for me.
Mhm.
All my but some of them was kind of raggedy, kind of, they had been worn out, right? So I got on this one. So, but my sleeves was long, so I had to stuff them in the shirt, in the suit, because this suit has been around for a long time.
Yeah.
And so I'm on stage, and I'm turning, and we're doing what we do, and the sleeves come out. So now it's hanging like this. It's hanging like this. Oh, I'm doing the show, spinning, I'm stuffing, I'm trying to do this. And that was my first show, so I was nervous on top of that.
Yeah.
Very nervous on top of that. So, and then Henry, it took Henry probably seriously about 6 months. No, not 6. Well, yeah, a good 6 months before he got comfortable with me beside him, because my position is always beside him. Him, me, and Marvin. So he never would really give me eye contact. He didn't really give me a lot of, so that made me nervous too. So I'm thinking, and I make it, and then we come off stage, and you got reporters right there.
Oh no!
Stopping me, asking me, how do you like this? What do you think? Blah 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 blah. And I'm standing there like this. Oh my God! So that was shaky. I was glad to get through that.
Okay.
That was rough. Yeah.
Now, you have when I opened up the show, I'm talking. I mentioned that you guys have 50 years of music. You have 30 top 10 songs. You've been nominated for 6 Grammys.
6 Grammys.
You were nominated for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Nice.
Yes. I think you deserve to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Everybody and their brother thinks that same thing, and I don't know. I always ask Henry about it, and he said it's politics. That's what he gives me.
Well, I tell you what, I know this much. I'm a politic my way to ensure that you guys get in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Whatever you can do.
I'm going to cut up. I'm about to cut up, because the Spinners deserve to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. There is no excuse. And we're going to make this happen.
We have a star on the Walk of Fame.
Yes.
Yeah, it's everything is there. But it just that I don't know what's going to take.
Oh, it's going to take, like I said, watch. I'll be there to see you get inducted. Okay? I promise you that. I'm going to call up on some folks to ensure this happens, because that is inexcusable.
I just want to see Henry.
Yeah.
I hate when the artist is gone and then everybody wants to honor him.
Give you your flowers. They want, but you're not here to see it. You're not here to see them enjoy their flowers.
Exactly. Yep.
So yes, we are going. Like I said, I'm bound by my word. Anyway, watch what's going to happen. That's all.
All right.
Watch what's going to happen. And I say this right now, today. Watch what's going to happen.
Make sure all your viewers is in too. Bring them with you.
That's right. I'm coming with the Almighty. Okay, it's going to happen. And with you, and how often? Because you guys now, you are touring. You guys are able to. What's the word that I'm looking for? You've built this. You got recordings. You got 50 years of recordings. You guys are touring. You still are packing stadiums, packing them.
Yep.
And
we have a new CD that's out.
Yeah. It's. Wait a minute. I want to go back to the movies. When you see or hear when you were sitting there watching a television show or a movie, especially the Avengers, the fish that saved Wanda,
right?
Laverne and Shirley.
That's right.
And you want it. Okay. And you hear your songs.
It's a proud moment when you hear them. It's a proud moment.
Yes.
It's a proud moment. Yep.
Now, the fish that saved Wanda, that was co-written by Tom Bell?
I believe it was.
I think so. I remember that as a kid. I do. I remember that movie. And you're still going to be featured in more songs, in more movies and all of that. So that, that's when you guys get contacted about appearing in movies. What happens? They contact you, and then they tell you that this song is going to be in a movie. They want to add it to their soundtrack.
Yeah, the agents, and then I guess it's because they pick the songs that they want to use, and then they let them know
that you're going to do.
Yeah.
And speaking of which songs to use, what is it like? How do you pick from your catalog of music to perform in concert? How do you pick which songs?
We always do. We try to do. We can't do them all, of course, but we do a lot of the Grammy-nominated songs, the platinum songs, the gold songs. So we stick to those particular popular songs that was played a lot.
Now, do you take fan requests? If you did, you would be there all night.
Yeah. We do most of the songs, but there are maybe 2 or 3 that somebody will say, "Hey, why don't you? When are you gonna do this song?" And one is Ghetto Child. We don't do that one. We haven't done it, but that's one of my favorites. And It Takes a Fool.
Oh man,
we'll switch that song. Sometimes we'll do it.
Really?
But yeah, that's a popular song they want to hear.
You guys have. Let's see. I saved this. You guys got
Love Nobody. That's
that's a given. It's a shame. Yeah, we got. Look at this. Mighty Love. How Could I Let You Go Away? Then Came You, of course. Working My Way Back to You. Baby, that's what I was saying. When your songs are about family, love, all of that, when somebody's telling you they working their way back to you, they ain't gonna never let you go. Never, never let you go.
Yep. Exactly. Yep.
Could it be I'm falling in love? Could it be I'm falling in love? And I'll be around. I will be around. Come on. Those songs, and then like I told you, Sadie, I don't know one person, and I keep telling you this, I don't know one person who does not cry listening to that. And then you have the internet, and you have these fans, the fans who create footage to go with the songs. And I saw
Yes.
something that, isn't that amazing? I saw something last week about Sadie, and they were showing, it was like I was saying earlier, your grandma, your mom, the little kids looking up to, their parents, and, and it's like, oh my God, that's what I'm saying. You guys continuously create fans. It's an ongoing process because you have people like, the fans creating these fan videos of your songs. And I mean, so you guys are going to continue. It's like it's creating more and more fans, the generational fans who will sit there and, like I said earlier, they hear your music in the movies, and then they go and they fall in love with the Spinners. They understand that you guys are legendary.
Right.
Now, I learned that when you are in the UK, you were referred to as the Detroit Spinners.
Yeah, because there's a set of group over there is called the Spinners.
Mm-hmm.
I guess they're pretty big over there.
Mm-hmm.
So Spinners at that time put the Detroit on it to separate themselves from that Spinners. So that's what we don't call it now. We don't say Detroit Spinners now, but back then we did and put Detroit on it.
And you guys have a few names. You got the Mighty Love of the Spinners.
Yeah. And for a minute we was the Mighty Spinners, and then now it's just the Spinners again.
Okay.
Just Spinners again. Just Spinners.
No matter what the name, it's the Spinners.
Spinners. Yep.
Now, I want to talk about what are some of the groups that are coming up now, because you're legendary. And like I was telling you earlier, David Bowie, Elvis Costello, Elton John, the big fans of the Spinners. Who were some groups that you listened to, or singers that you listened to?
Smokey Robinson.
Yeah,
Definitely one of my idols. And then I listened to, believe it or not, Sam Cooke.
You know what? Come on, man.
Yeah. And I listened to, believe it or not, I really liked Al Jarreau. Because I love his style.
Yeah.
His style is different.
Mm-hmm.
And I listened to him a lot. But those were the guys I listened to. I listened, Stylistics, Manhattans, those guys, Blue Magic. They were all tenors because I'm a tenor. So, guys that I followed back in the day and up to now. And so I kind of guided myself on their styles. I mix them together. Philip, I mixed all of that together. Yep.
Now, some of the new artists. Who are some of the new artists that you're listening to?
I love Bruno Mars.
Yes.
I think that the style, the approach that he's taken, it's just overwhelming because they're doing the old school. They're doing the old school.
Yes, they are reaching back and reminding people where the real singing.
Right, and I love that. I love, believe it or not, I love New Edition.
Aren't they the
best? I love how they entertain. They were one of my. I love to watch them. Those guys.
They're like the old school, like what you said with the routine. They keep that coming.
Guys, I do. Um, some of the, you know, those are some of the artists that I really like. Um, Gladys Knight, I loved her and Aretha because I took some of their style and I just kind of incorporated it into what I do and how I do certain things.
Now, what do you mean by you took some of their styles?
Some of their technique that they sang with. I'm a person of tonality. Like when a person when somebody can sing, hold a note, and give you chills.
Yes.
Instead of a whole lot of up and down runs.
Yeah.
A little smooth note and just give you chills with that.
That's why them women's be laid out. That's why them women's be laid out at your concert.
That is what I'm about, you know. I'm not knocking nobody's style. Right. It's just what I kind of like and took from those people, you know, women and men, you know.
Now, who would you like to collaborate with? Current singers. I know you said you.
I like to do something with Gladys Knight. I would love to do something with I can't even think of everybody, but there's a few.
Now you and Gladys Knight would be a song.
Yeah, I would love to do something with her. We've been on shows together. We've done several shows with her.
That would be something. Now we should make that happen. We need to make that one happen because you started some mess now. I'm just thinking about you and Gladys Knight. Oh, now that would be something. You hear?
Yeah, I'd love to do that. That would make my day.
We need to call some people to make this happen because I'm just sitting there thinking, man, you talk about it. With my old tail, I'd be laid out screaming, listening to that song.
Yes, I tell you, definitely.
Now, that, boy, yeah, we're gonna make some calls. I'm gonna put this another note for something that I'm gonna work on with this with you. Okay. What is the when you're on tour, because you guys, like I earlier said, you guys still tour. How many days out on the road are you?
We do about I probably do I'm gonna say about 60 shows a year. Wow. 60, 70 shows a year.
Wow.
Yeah, we're out there. I mean, we do a lot of times, some dates are multiple shows. You know, we do shows like in Seattle. We're there 4 days. We're in Oakland. We're there 4 days. A lot of shows like that. We do Hawaii. We're there like 4 or 5 days.
Wow.
Yep. And so we do a lot of shows. We got dates coming up, I think in March. We're doing like a tour in Florida, and we're doing like 17 shows.
Wow!
We do a lot of multiple shows, you know.
Now that is amazing. I love hearing this because you guys are so deserving of the staying power and the audience that still comes to see you. We think about when we were young, listening. You know, the first time we heard the Spinners, and to see you guys still performing. That's amazing. And to know, again, from 1954, and we're about to go into 2023. Man, everybody wish they could have that career.
Yes, it's definitely a blessing. It wasn't scripted. It happened. It was just a blessing You know, he said, "I'm gonna put you here." You
And
know,
it's because you make good music.
yeah,
That's the
yeah.
bottom line. You make good music, and people still want to hear that good music that's going around.
Definitely.
You
And the
understand?
people like good people. The
Mhm.
fans, they follow you if you carry a good reputation, and you carry yourself in the right way. They love that. That brings them to you. You know, when we do a
Yes.
good show, when we uh, mingle with fans,
Mhm.
we talk to them the whole nine, sign, autographs. You know, they love that. They love that.
Of course they do. You're the spinners. You understand? You're the spinners. I'm sitting here talking to the spinners. Come on, man. Do you know the inside I'm screaming?
It's really, I love it. I love it. I really do. Yeah, it's wonderful. It's
And,
wonderful.
and you said that you have a new album coming out, right?
But the Spinners, it was released a year ago.
Oh, yes.
But you know, we actually released it at the end of the pandemic year.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of came along and it kind of worked itself through last year, but it's still new to people. A lot of people didn't know about it.
Well,
And
we're going to definitely promote it.
yeah, definitely. It's called Round the Block and
Mm-hmm.
Back Again, produced by Preston Glass, and
Yeah.
it's definitely a great album. You can get it on all platforms. You can get a hard copy through Amazon and
Right.
different that if you want a hard copy.
When, because it's, we're getting to the end of the year and we just had Thanksgiving and, where we give thanks, we appreciate people, appreciate the fact that we're living, we have so much to be grateful for as human beings. But the power and the beauty of music that has carried us through life, carried us through the rough times, carried us through every aspect of life. I am so honored to have you, Mr. Ronnie Moss, the legendary Ronnie Moss, here on this platform where I can give you your flowers, see you enjoy your flowers,
Thank you.
know face to face that we've had a conversation about how magnificent you are.
Thank you.
And I've gotten an opportunity to share my upbringing and my memories and with you. So from a fan with that little glass of warm beer from my Aunt Dorothy.
Right.
I was up
Right.
dancing and having some good time listening to you guys.
We thank you. From Jesse, Marvin, CJ, Henry, and myself. We thank you from the bottom of our heart. We thank you.
And I hope you could feel from my heart how much I admire you. And I'm so honored and proud to know you because you have been the Spinners. Come on, man.
Mm-hmm.
And you're so humble. That's what makes it even more precious. The impact the impact that you have had on people's lives. And yet you're still so humble and grateful for each and every day. And that's what you guys need to know. This man here, aside from him being a superstar, he's just as kind as can be. He's gonna cook for me too. You didn't know that, right? but you cooking for me.
I got a grill over here. I can go.
That's what I'm saying.
Got a big old grill.
Okay, oh man, I'm waiting for 4th of July because we go. Guess what we playing at the barbecue? The Spinners.
Definitely.
Man, and I'm gonna put it on repeat, replay all the songs to recreate those memories those warm memories that I have growing up.
There's so many songs. I can't. I don't even know all of them. There's so many songs that you could play over and over, and you just listen to them.
You know what? I counted. I got to 400 songs that have been recorded by the Spinners, and I stopped at 400. So, and I'm like, wow, who could say that? How many people can say that?
And this album that's out now, round back again.
Hold on.
It's been 40 years. So, yep.
That's pretty amazing. Hold on, my dogs. Hold on. That'll get it out their system. Where's your baby?
He's downstairs.
Okay.
Got him down there.
Okay, that's a good one. Okay, they're really upset because I stopped giving them treats, so they let me know. Okay.
Right, they will.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3. So 40 years of no, it's more than 40 years of you guys performing.
Since the last album that we released.
Mm-hmm. So that's amazing. People are gonna go and get that album. I promise you that. As we close, I want to tell you how much I appreciate you doing this for me, because you didn't have to, and you rarely do interviews, but I charmed you, man.
Yeah, I love it.
I charmed you, man, and I said, "Hey, I'm getting you." So I am so honored, Mr. Moss. I can't even describe to you in words how much I appreciate you doing this for me and the audience, because I always think, every interview that I've done, I always think of, there's so much more I want to ask you, so much more on my mind, and I always worry that the artist truly understands how much I appreciate and how much I respect you, and how you truly are a legend. When we're gone, me and you both gone, this is going to be around, and I want to make sure that each and every member of this group, the ones here on earth and the ones in heaven, that they understand that as a fan, as somebody who admires and just appreciate what you have brought into my life through your music. I want you to truly understand and believe me when I say that it is just, I'm so grateful to you, sir. And I don't ever want you to doubt that there are fans out there craving you, loving you from 1954 to date. And please tell the other members how much they mean to me too. You guys are family. Through your music, you are family. But you really are, because like I said, I'm coming to the barbecue.
No problem. No problem.
I thank you from the bottom of my heart, sir, for sharing this with your time with me. I really do. All right.
Okay.
Love you dearly. Thank you.